Hi, this is Melissa with A Creative Journey with Melissa, and today I'm going to show you how to take this Adirondack ink with this awesome rayon ribbon and create your own custom stuff. It's crazy, super easy. It's a little messy, and as you noticed last week, I like to get messy, so I decided to continue the trend. But at any rate, we've got Adirondack ink, we've got sandal, we've got red pepper, and we've got aqua. And we've got this awesome rayon. It's just white, simple, easy ribbon. Not fancy, nothing. And then we turn it into this beautiful, custom colored ribbon that would look just beautiful on any creation. I just love it. I love the way it came out. I love the way it worked. I love the way that it got darker in certain areas and lighter in others. I just love the way it came out. So hopefully you think it's just as fantastic as I do. And I'll give you a little close-up of all the cool, beautiful little colors we've got going on here. It's really neat. It really came out cool. There's some darker spots, some lighter spots, and of course it all depends on what you put on, how much you put on, and where you put it. So this is what we're going to create along with two other kinds. So I'm going to show you what you need. And really, all you really need is this rayon ribbon. You need some ink. Now you can use alcohol inks as well, just plain regular alcohol inks or refills for your alcohol markers. And I would suggest a work surface. I'm going to use this work surface because it shows up really well and it works well and it cleans up well. So that's what I'm doing here. You might not like the reflection, but it's easier this way. The other thing you'll need is a rubber band. The one I was about to use is quite crunchy and old, so I will get a new one. We'll use this one. Okay. Now, if you want this look, so it has like the variegated look and the variegated colors, etc., and just a little bit of difference, it's almost like doing a tie-dye. That's what we did with this, okay? So you'll need a rubber band, you'll need the white ribbon, and you'll need the ink. And you want to, again, have a clean work surface and a cleanable work surface. I also, of course, have my handy-dandy alcohol on the side. Not drinking alcohol, just to be clear, the rubbing alcohol as we would call it. You can get it anywhere, just get generic, you don't need anything fancy, and this does a great job cleaning up, and I'll show you that in a little bit. So, we're going to start with this one, and what we're going to do is we're just going to take our ribbon. Actually, I think I'm going to take a bigger one, just so you can really get a feel for what you can do with this. So I've got a much bigger one. I've got a few of them on the side. I'm going to be doing 3 different examples for you. So you're just going to fold it. You don't have to be perfect with it, just fold it. You can do it in circles or whatever you want. I folded it like you would a ribbon, like back and forth, simply like this. And you're going to end up rubber banding it together. Doesn't have to be perfect. It actually is better if it's not perfect because it kind of gives you a different look. So you're just going to fold it back and forth. And I'm showing you this whole thing because I could have really done an example for you, but I thought, why? Because sometimes I have people that comment, I love that you do this, but I like to see you do the whole thing because I messed up this, or I wanted to see that, or etc., etc. So this way I'm showing you. We're just going to fold it up like this and like so. So it's kind of a mishmash of a pile. You can straighten it out if you want. I'm not going to because I like the mishmash of the pile. So I'm going to take the rubber band, and I'm just going to do this right here and just going to close it up once, and I'm going to just close it up a few times over here, and then I'm going to close it up a few times over here, and I'm just literally making a mess of rubber band and trying to get it all connected together, almost in like a pile of mess. As you see, there's really no rhyme, reason. There's no perfect way or design that I'm doing this. You'll have a lot more color over here than you will in this area, so maybe I'll move this little guy over and turn it upside down so we can have it folded on itself maybe a little bit more, and maybe we'll stick this side in a little bit more. Again, this is really more creative, and you'll get what it does when you do it yourself. So I'm simply going to take this little blob of rubber band and ribbon. For some reason I cannot think of the word ribbon today. It keeps slipping my mind and I don't know why. Anyway, so we're going to take the ribbon and the blob of rubber band and we're going to just place it right down there. we're going to open up this aqua. I would suggest you start with the color that you want to most highlight. That way you can make sure that, because typically the first one is the one that soaks the most or is more obvious to you. So you're just going to dribble a little bit on here, a little bit on there, a little bit on there. And I do suggest you turning it over to make sure that you get all the sides and colors everywhere. And you may think this is too much, but you'll be surprised. I put even more of this on the last set and there was a lot of white showing. Obviously, wherever you put the rubber band, there'll be white showing because there's no color really getting too much underneath. That's okay. It's part of the beauty of it. Then we're going to take this little red, put a few little blops there and here because I like the blops. It's a new word that I use for creating with Adirondack ink and alcohol ink. Blop. And then we're going to take a little bit of what we call sandal, I believe. Yes, sandal. And we are going to put a little bit more blob on there. Maybe in some of the areas that we don't have any. Or maybe some on top. Whatever you prefer. It's your design. You decide. Like so. So that was the sandal. And I added that. And I'm going to add a little bit more red, I think, which is called red pepper. Okay, we're just going to put a little bit more dot right there because that's plenty. Then I'm going to do another little dot of the aqua. Okay, and I think I'm going to turn it over for that one. There's a little white spot right there. And it does get a little bit muddled if you put too much on it with the red. But again, you'll enjoy it when it comes through, and it looks really, really neat once it's dry, as you saw. So this is similar to what I did with the one prior. I think I used a little bit more ink this time. Now, what I do keep on hand, besides alcohol, is I do keep on hand these little, I guess they're called cotton rounds. They're like little makeup pads. And of course we have our alcohol. So what I'm going to do, just to wash up my hands so I can show you how great it works, is I'm just going to take this and a little bit of the alcohol. I'm just going to dump a little over. Okay. And then I'm going to show you that you just see how it's got red on it right there? It just wipes right off. See how that works? It's like a magic eraser, but not. So it cleans up pretty well, so that's the great thing. Sometimes it'll get stuck in your nails and stuff, and that's okay sometimes. That's, I mean, it's like working in dirt. Sometimes you get dirt and stuff like that stuck there. And then you just wash them really well. But the other reason why I like to keep alcohol on the side of this is because it'll also ruin your work surface. So if you have a work surface that's like this plastic plate or platter, it cleans it up right away and you don't have to worry about it. Now I'm going to leave that there because I want to make sure that it dries and I don't want to ruin my work surface. Although this work surface here for me is great. It's actually washable, so maybe I'll just leave that there. It'll be easier for you guys to see. There, that might be easier for on your eyes, not so much shine. The problem is having a clean work surface, you typically have to have a shiny area. This is clean and a workable surface, so I'll just use this. And I saw a little bit of ink there, so I just wiped that up. Anyway, so let's get on to the next one. The next one, I will use just a piece of paper. It's kind of like cardstock. We'll just use that for this area. And we have this beautiful white ribbon. She remembers. Woohoo! All right, she can be taught. That's great. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these away, and we're going to recreate this. Okay, see how beautiful that is? See all the different colors and how it looks like it's just gradiently purple in different ways? It's actually 3 different colors. So I'm going to show you those. Super, super simple. The only thing you need to worry about as far as time goes is drying time. And you just want to make sure that it's dry because you don't want to put it on a project that you have and have it get all wet. That would be a bummer. Now alcohol ink tends to dry pretty quickly, but you want to make sure that you leave enough time. So these are the colors I'm using for this color scheme. Okay. See if you can see that pretty good. There we go. And so all I'm doing is I'm starting with the purple, because purple is the main one I want to use and it's the darkest of the colors. And I'm literally just dripping all over the place. wherever you want. Now you can do this in a jar, but it's hard to show you in a jar. And then if you do end up having some extra leftover ink, you can use it for your next project and just cap it. A friend of mine taught me that trick. And now we're going to use the Wild Plum. We had just used the Purple Twilight. Okay. So we're going to add a little bit there. And I really love the way these colors really go well together. And I'm going to flip them around in a minute, but I want to show you how cool it looks. Just adding a few little dabs here and there. Okay. And then we're going to flip this over. And I'm going to add a little bit of the raspberry. Now the raspberry is a little bit lighter than all of them. So it looks similar, but it's got a little bit more red to it. So I'm going to add a little bit of that. And I think we have some really good colors there. Now you could start off with just like a brown or something, and you could make your own camouflage. Now this is pretty wet, but that's okay. I still want to show you. I want to show you the difference. See, it went through on the table, but that's okay. I can wipe it up. It's a washable surface. But I want to show you this here. Look how beautiful it looks and shiny. This is how it is wet. Okay, so you want to make sure that you keep it on the side so that it can dry. The alcohol ink, as you can see, dries pretty quickly, but because it's on a material, it may take a little bit longer. I left mine to dry for about an hour. It definitely didn't need that long, but I did leave it to dry for about an hour. So, so this is this wet little fella, and I clearly put a lot more lighter, brighter than I did darker, but you can see the difference between how this looks here and how this looks here and how this is dry. So it does lighten up a little bit, okay? Now I'm going to put this one on the side. I'm going to put it on my handy dandy work tray. And we're going to do the next one, but first I got to clean up. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to show you how easy this just cleans right up. Sorry for the wiggle in the video. And it looks good to me. Might be a little bit of pink left, but that's okay. We'll be all right. It's pretty dry, so we're good. Okay? So as long as you're working on a work surface that is cleanable, you're good. I don't see myself getting this purple off anytime soon, and that's okay. I mean, I can if I really sat here and let you watch me do it, but I'm not going to. I'll do it later. And typically, with alcohol ink, you can do it a little bit later and you won't be in too much trouble. You don't want to leave it on for too long. It will at some point be okay. You can wash off, but at some point you will get some of the pigment still left on you. So I was talking to you before about camouflage, so I thought I would show you a little bit of what you can do to make a camouflage ribbon. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take our ginger, which is right here, and we're going to add some of that to our ribbon. And like I said, you know, sometimes you find some ribbon and you really love it, but it doesn't match quite exactly what you're looking for. Well, in this case, you can make your own. You can even do it when you have like a stencil or something, and you can put some of it on there with a brush. That would look really cool too. Don't you love my fingers? I think it's fun. See, this is my favorite part, is getting dirty. They really did used to call me Messy Missy. It's not a joke. Would not tell you a lie like that. It is so true. Anyway. So now we're going to add the terracotta. The terracotta I thought looked really good, but I'm going to check and make sure that this is the color I'm looking for. Yeah, it's got a little red to it. I think I'm going to go back with the green that I wanted instead. I don't think that'll match what I'm looking for. So I'm going to do the bottle of, it's called Earth Tone, and it's called Bottle, actually. That's the color. Isn't that odd? I don't know why. I wonder if it's like glass from like when it's in the beach and stuff like that, like the glass stuff from I think it's New York or something. People have found that they can get some glass from the beaches in the bottom of the ocean or the bottom of the river. It's pretty cool. I've gotten some from friends of mine. Now I really love the way this is coming out, the way this looks like camouflage. It's kind of neat. And it's, you know, like I said, it's not perfect, but camouflage is not perfect exactly anyway. So it's kind of neat how it's coming out. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to put a little bit of this meadow. It's a little bit lighter green. I think that'll be kind of neat. And it will show different colors of green on the ribbon too. Now if you wanted to, like I said, you could put these colors in a jar and shake it up, and you'd be able to get a really cool look for that too. I'm also going to take some sandal, and that's a little bit of a lighter brown, and see what that does for this cool little creation. Ooh, that looks neat, huh? I like that. Put this over here. Make sure we've got enough color in here. And then I'm going to add a little bit more brown, just because I think there's a little bit more green than I was anticipating. And like I said, there's no rhyme, reason, there's nothing perfect. If it's your creation and you like it, then it's perfect. So there's no mistakes here. It's all just beautiful, cool coloring. I'm going to put a little bit more brown there, and I'm going to lift this up. See, I love the way that that looks even. Look at that, how cool is that? You can put a little bit more brown on there and really make it look neat. Now if you like the various colors in this one, you could really, I could even take this right now. I'm going to put this on my drying tray. I'm going to take a little piece of this ribbon right here and cut it and see what it'll look like if I just use it to sop up the color, huh? Won't that be neat? I just like these creative ideas and things that happen just organically. I didn't really think of this until just now, otherwise I would have had a cut piece. So I'm just going to use this to kind of wipe it up a little bit and see how that looks. That's kind of neat, huh? Looks like a little bit of a camouflage in itself. That'd be really cool for a card for a guy or a girl or somebody in the service or whatever. We could add a little bit more ink if we wanted to. I'm going to add a little bit more of the green, a little bit. Don't want to put too much in. I like the brighter green with the army colors, and sometimes I like just the khaki colors. So I guess it just depends on the mood I'm in or what I'm creating. So let's add a little bit more brown. And then I think we'll be good. As you can see, you can make whatever camouflage look you like. It doesn't have to be super, super thick of color. It could be, if you want it to be, like the one I just did, or it could just have little pieces of it like the one I'm doing right now. Pretty neat, huh? There's a whole bunch of different things you can do. And as you're doing it, you notice, you know, I really like this, or oh, I really like that, or oh, I want this, or whatever. You can change it. There's no wrong answer. And that's the cool thing about art. If you like it, like I said, it's good. That's all that matters. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. I'm going to show you also what it looked like. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? How cool is that? Let me wipe this up real quick, and then I'll show you a little bit better, because it might be hard to see in the video. But like I said, I use these wipes right here, these little sponges or whatever you want to call them. I think they're, like I said, they're makeup things. So I'm just going to clean it up like this. Comes right up as long as you have a slick work surface, a non-porous work surface, you're good. All that's there. I'll just flip it over and make sure it's all cleaned up. Looks good to me. Yep, we're good. So like I said, make sure you keep your alcohol around so that you can clean up whatever mess you may come into. And then we have, whoops, sorry about that, a little bit of wiggle, huh? I could wipe this off too if I want to. I'm gonna try to get a little bit of it off so I can show you that it really does come off. See that? Didn't think that was gonna come off, did you? Let's see. See how pink that is? I'll wipe that off right now. You'll be very surprised at how well it comes off. See how much better it is already? I'm not gonna sit here and clean my fingers for you, but so you know. Now, this is the one we just did, and really, for all intents and purposes, it's dry. I didn't do anything fancy to it. I didn't do anything special to it. This is the one that we just did. It's a little bit damp, very little, but it's great. Don't you love the colors? I just love it. This one right here is the first one we did with the different, darker, more intense colors. And I think this looks beautiful, but I don't think it really turned out as camouflage as I thought it was going to be. I think it's more of a darker primary with blue in there even. And I didn't even use blue. How cool is that? That's a little bit damp still, by the way. Then we have this one and this one. Now remember when I said it's going to look a lot lighter when it dries? Okay, these are the two ribbons that I showed you. This one's wet, so that one's a little from today, and this one is dry. This is the one I did earlier. So how cool is that? How much lighter it gets? It's pretty neat, huh? So this right here, although it is still wet, it's not wet actually, it's damp. I'm going to open it up so you can see what happened when we did create this, okay? So we're going to just take off the ribbon so I can show you what it looks like once you undo the ribbon after you've added the color. And I think it looks cool. Look at that. How neat is that? And as much aqua and blue we put in there, it barely even showed up. It didn't show up very much. So if you wanted to add some more, you totally could do that. If you don't and you like it the way it is, then by all means do that. Remember, you could take the ribbon and just put rubber band, rubber band, rubber band, rubber band like that, and you could even make like peppermint ribbon. That'd be really neat, huh? So I really do hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. I hope that you are a subscriber to our YouTube channel and to our blog and email so that you can be entered to win one of our prizes every week. We really do enjoy your input, your suggestions, any questions that you have. We really appreciate your input when you would like to see something, or if you're not sure of what something is or you have questions. We really do appreciate everything, and we appreciate that you take the time to come and visit us and check out our website at www.acreativejourneywithmelissa.com or www.acjwm.com. And if you are one of the subscribers, you will be entered to win this awesome Tim Holtz set of 2 embossing folders. One of them is dot matrix and the other one is gridlock. And they are super duper cool, as you can see right here. Very neat. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Gotta love that, right? So make sure that you are a subscriber, and make sure you check out our blog at www.acreativejourneywithmelissa.com, or like I said, www.acjwm.com. And we hope you have a fantastic day, and thank you so much for going on a creative journey with Melissa. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.